way that you ask your customers to pay your startup is fundamentally wrong. Getting paid is the most important part of the conversion funnel, the tightest part, the part where your customer is at their most valuable. And it's also the part where most founders, most CEOs ignore their customers' needs entirely and take an out-of-the-box solution. Most companies get paid one of three ways: either by credit card, by trade credit, or by bank deposit. Let's talk about the most popular option first. They're easy, they're fast, and they're terrible. Credit cards accounted for $3 trillion of non-cash payments last year. And of those payments, banks collected nearly 3% in merchant service fees. And what do you get for your tens of billions of dollars in merchant service fees? Well, you're left open to credit card chargebacks that can see the money forcibly returned from your accounts for up to 6 months. Now, I'm not sure how many people here have actually been subject to a credit card chargeback. I'd say if you're taking credit cards right now, you've probably seen at least one. But for those of you who don't know, a credit card chargeback is where a customer claims they didn't get what they wanted or they're not entirely satisfied, and they call their bank. They don't need to provide any evidence whatsoever other than to say, I want my money back 6 months after the transaction's completed. It's unbelievable. Trade credit is almost as bad. It's basically giving a free loan to every single one of your customers and hoping that they do you a solid and pay. There's simply no guarantee for a startup that they will be rewarded for their effort in the way that they should be. By far, the safest option for your company in an uncertain environment is a bank transfer. But I can tell you that this is a great way of missing out on a whole heap of customers. If you walk into your customers and say, I want to be paid up front, and you have no reputation in the market as yet, people will laugh in your face. Your conversion rates will drop, and you'll see business that could have been yours walk straight out the door. So now that I've told you about the bonfire of the payment systems, let's talk about one that does work. It has no credit card chargebacks, it's cheaper than PayPal or credit cards, and it still provides the buyer with the protection that they need to know that they're going to get what they pay for. The solution's an online escrow account, which holds on to the buyer's funds until the seller delivers their side of the transaction. Previously, these were only available from lawyers and banks. They'd cost you thousands of dollars to set up. But now they're available entirely online. An escrow service, if you don't know, works something like this. Simply put, the buyer and seller get together, they agree on some terms and a contract, and then the buyer pays the independent escrow provider. This escrow provider is bound to hold the funds until the seller delivers their side of the contract. It sounds simple. It's because it is. Once the buyer is completely satisfied, the escrow service passes on the funds to the seller, and that transaction is completely final. The biggest online escrow provider is, of course, Escrow.com. We've helped people transact over $3 billion over the 16 years that we've been in business. And our platform is used for all types of transactions, from web domains, as Cheryl mentioned, to motor vehicles, to commercial goods. We secure services for freelancing, like freelance coding jobs and consulting. like this wonderful piece of art from Andy Warhol, the Queen Elizabeth suite. And this multi-million-dollar factory setup of Fanuc robots. In fact, the US Commercial Service recommends Escrow.com to export goods internationally from the US because of the fact that we prevent the need for expensive letters of credit, another archaic bank-run institution. Escrow.com and other online escrow providers can be used to secure transactions as little as $100, all the way up to $10 million. The size of the transaction isn't really important because there is no extended line of credit to need to pay for. We hold on to the funds and make sure that that buyer gets exactly what they want every time and the seller gets paid. Escrow.com is already partnered with some of the internet's largest marketplaces to help their customers complete high-value transactions online with the assistance of a multilingual 24/7 customer support framework that looks after everyone's transaction, in fact, much better than you would if you had just a simple credit card gateway. We transact in dollars and euros, and as you can see here, eBay recommends only use Escrow.com. GoDaddy also recommends the use of Escrow.com for purchasing high-value domain names. You can see just a few examples here. Google bought gmail.com through us. Uber bought uber.com through us. American Express bought centurion.com through us. And Freelancer bought freelancer.com through us. All of these companies used Escrow.com because we've made setting up an online escrow as easy as sending a customer to pay with a credit card, without the high fees and without the risk of chargebacks. You can see here a web landing page, a product page for companyrecruiter.com. It's as simple as adding a button to your website or integrating with a shopping cart style functionality like we see here on the world's largest diamond trading network, RapNet. Around the world, Escrow.com helps millions of customers to secure their high-value transactions and companies to make sure that they get paid. We're here at StartCon for this weekend to talk to you about how your startup gets paid. And I urge you, please don't fall into the credit card cartels. Come and talk to us. Have a chat to us. We've got a booth downstairs. I'll be there. Our team of engineers will be there to have a chat to you about integrating with your startup. And I ask you just, when you decide how to get paid, don't take the first option. Don't take the Google #1 result. Have a think about the best way to be paid. I think you'll find that it's escrow.com. Thanks very much.